Ugh. Wilderness. The CMC are in for quite the adventure in Don't You Forget About Us, the latest story arc in the MLP main series. When the CMC get separated from their class on a field trip, they have to work together to survive until help arrives, which would be a lot easier if they weren't stuck with Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. And Snips and Snails. Faust help their poor souls. So what's good? Where are their cutie marks? Well, you see, why is Diamond Tiara still mean to them? There's an explanation for the IDW comics are always butchering the show. They're on different production schedules. It took till fall 2013 for Twilight's wings to show up in the comics. Can I get back to my review now? So, what's good? Well, since this takes place around Season 5's midpoint, anyone who's seen the second half of Season 5 can easily figure out how this story ends. The CMC are gonna learn something about Diamond and Silver, and they start to get along later on, only for things to return to the status quo at the very end. So, keeping in mind that there aren't gonna be any surprises on this ride, the entertainment value in this arc is gonna fall on how fun the ride is, and for the most part, it's alright. Every character gets their funny line and the story doesn't rush or drag itself. I don't get the feeling that any of the foals are present just for the sake of being present, not even Snips and Snails. As a matter of fact, the two colts are pretty harmless here. To be honest, I never understood why people hated them so much when, aside from Ghostbusters, the worst they've done was be stupid, and they were minor enough characters to be ignorable. Here, they play the spectators to the rivalry between the CMC and Diamond. Hell, they even prove to be useful on multiple occasions. It kinda makes me feel bad for them when they lament on how no pony likes them. And the last thing I expected this arc to do was make me care about Snips and Snails, so I gotta give Christina Rice props for that. There's not much about the story that's outstanding, but it's not boring either. It only does just enough, which may sound unappealing to some, but considering the arc that we just got out of, it's probably for the best. So what's not so good? Agnes Garboska was relatively low on my list of favorite artists on the IDW staff, but I saw little hints of improvement in her recent issues, especially Friends Forever 21. This arc though is a bit of a slide back. The backgrounds are kinda dull and Snails looks like a baby giraffe half the time. Every now and then there's these awkward moments where the characters are posed weird or the perspective is kinda off. There are some good looking moments like when the Toro makes its big appearance, but for the most part, this arc isn't one of Garboska's better works. And for me, the arc does lose some of its appeal because of that. While Don't You Forget About Us doesn't look the best, and while it is somewhat formulaic, the story is serviceable and playing it safe was probably the best way to go after the last arc. It ain't nothing special, but it's an okay palate cleanser that helps to get the taste of Siege out of my mouth. Next month, we'll be getting a single issue story showing the beginnings of Twilight and Spike's friendship. Not sure why this isn't a Friends Forever issue, but the main series needs a great story again and this shows some promise, so here's to March. So what do you think of Don't You Forget About Us? Swarm that comment section below or bug me on social media, and consider supporting me through Patreon or PayPal art commissions. Until next time, keep it sketchy folks.